Hello, Farmer Life family.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Farmer Life family. Here we have Trilby.
Trilby.
Yes,
Hey.
introducing you to her, and she has done something that, Farmer Life family. A lot of people don't know that we do. Why? Because I don't put it on our website, and I think this is our very first YouTube, isn't it, hon? I think
No,
so.
we did Chris.
Yeah,
He
maybe we
his.
did. Yeah, but I mean, Chris is just as like more of a staff. I mean, this is the first time we've really done a good video on a guest who's come here and done a 21-day water fast. And that's the maximum we'll do here because I really feel after 21 days you really kind of need a doctor, and we don't have a doctor here. Just doing blood pressure, and different things like that. But we do 21-day water fasts here. And I don't put it on the website for a lot of specific reasons, and we'll get into that in detail a little bit later. But let's get into Trilby's journey because she's done absolutely amazing. So she's done 21 days water, and now you're on day what, 4 of the
4.
refeed.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back, right? You're able to walk and make your own
Yeah.
food,
Yeah.
right?
And this
So-
girl had so much willpower through her fast.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, yeah,
Good
totally.
work.
Well, let's roll it back too because generally what I do, if someone inquires, they email us and they're like, "Hey, I would like to do a water fast at your place. I want a Skype interview." And at that particular time when you did that, that was in May, last May, and Jody and I were in the States, and you and I did a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about that. Like that little bit of that conversation. What you were interested in healing some stuff.
Yeah, I had been on a journey looking for a place to complete a water fast. It's something that had been calling to me for quite some time. I'd say probably about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I really wanted to complete. And I had learned about fasting a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a place and found Farm of Life and contacted them through email. And Brian called me and we were talking about the reasons for doing it, just to check in and make sure that my head was in the right place and this was about my health. And I have been working really hard for the past, I would say, 3 years, working through lifelong chronic illness of allergies, asthma, eczema, migraines.
And this has been lifelong, like you said, years.
Yeah, I've since I was a baby, I've had eczema and allergies. I've almost died of asthma attacks at the age of 4, and even as an adult, have had to be rushed to the hospital with asthma attacks. I don't travel anywhere without an inhaler. If I go anywhere far from home, I have my nebulizer with me too. And it's just been a real struggle in my life to live to my
function
fullest
normally,
right.
right.
ability that I would
Exactly.
like to. And so being called to a water fast to deeply cleanse out my body was something that I felt really powerful about.
And how did you hear about water fasting? I know you said you read about it, but like, when were the first, inklings of information that you got where water fasting could help all of these things?
One of my friends, when I was it's about 7 years ago now, was really into like juice cleansing and doing the master cleanse, and she was the one that first told me about water fasting, and from there I just started reading a little bit here or there. There's a couple different documentaries. One of them I want to say is called The Science of Fasting, that's focused more on Europeans who do water fasts that are prescribed to them by their doctors.
Yep.
And that was a really transformative documentary for me to watch, and then just reading more and more and seeing people even in the United States doing water fasting, which is more for weight loss. And that's not something that I was necessarily interested in, but seeing what a powerful tool it was for a lot of people to heal themselves. And understanding the science behind it and how it can really cleanse out all the toxins in your body and allow you to get rid of the things that are systemically causing the asthma.
Sure. Get to the core of it, right? Water fasting can do that, that's for sure.
And then I worked with a naturopath when I was living in Humboldt County who had me read a book that really got me to delve deep into my own personal journey with illness and to look at things that I may never have considered, and to realize that my battle with tuberculosis as an infant and being put on broad spectrum antibiotics for almost a year of my life really was something that killed my whole gut bacteria and really started me off on this journey of ill health. And then through that, even though I probably have a different diet than a lot of Americans growing up mainly vegetarian, still just not eating very healthy, eating a lot of processed foods for a long period of time, and got me to the place of where I was with a lot of my issues with chronic disease, until I began working with my naturopath and my acupuncturist and changing my diet to be vegan, gluten-free, plant-based. And that's where I was at when I started really being called to water fast. I've been working really hard at ridding myself of all of these other toxins in my daily food routine, but realizing that it was much further back in my history, starting when I was a child.
Sure, it can go that far back, right?
Yeah.
So we talk on the phone, and that was a powerful conversation, that phone call, because we don't water fast a lot of people here. We really don't, because you can get into slippery slopes. And also, I won't water. I mean, that's not our main focus here, and I won't water fast a lot of people. Sometimes people will ask to do a water fast for just weight loss, and that can be a major problem. And if you guys are looking to do that, it's not going to be here if we have a Skype interview and it's just for weight loss. Right, because you can really lower that thyroid gland down, and then when you refeed, you can put the weight all back on again if you don't make lifelong changes. A lot of times we've gotten emails, sadly, and we love you out there, but with people with eating disorders, right? Bulimics, anorexics, and for me, that's why I want to do this screening, because these dysfunctions, right, are in the mind and the emotions, right? We got to peel the onion back that way, not controlling what we eat, right? But for you, there wasn't any of that.
Yeah, I luckily have never battled with an eating disorder in my life, and actually never was too concerned about my weight. There were times I was very unhealthy in my life, and the minute I went to change my diet and became a vegan, that changed a lot of the issues I had with inflammation that were causing other weight problems. So I never was concerned about that. That was not my journey.
And when we talked on that phone, you had said, you were like, I could just feel the will here. You were like, look, the first thing I ask is, what's your diet like? And you were like, man, I've been vegan for X amount of years. So I thought, okay, all right, she's not standard American. She's done it. I've done a lot of cleansing. You have done plenty of cleansing before this. And I was, okay, that checks another off the list. You've done a lot of cleansing. And then another thing I asked, I'm like, what's your size? How skinny are you? And you were like, look, man, I'm thin, but I promise you, I don't have it. You were so, that will, that strength, you were like, I don't have an eating problem. I've had these health problems for a long time. Please let me come to the farm and do a water fast. And I really felt it there. I felt that strong will, that strong spirit to endure. And that's when I said, you can come.
Yeah. And that definitely, losing a lot of weight during the water fast is something that I am enduring as well at this point. It's a big change in my body that I can't wait till I can get back to my fatty avocados and coconut oil to actually put back on a little weight. But I don't remember what it was on your website that I read actually now, but there was something that talked about fasting on your website, and just what your mission was, and the things that you guys talked about with raw food, and eating a healthy lifestyle, and juicing every day, and being provided with fruit and vegetables here. I was like, oh, these people understand. Whereas a lot of other places that I was finding that did water fasting are in Europe, and they're like medical spas for weight loss and beauty.
Crazy, much more expensive than us.
Yeah, and that wasn't my goal. I'm not concerned about my weight anyway, except now I want to gain some weight.
Well, here's the thing. Let's discuss that for a second now that it's come up. Yes, you're very thin now, but here's the thing. If you're fasting for the correct reasons, for health reasons, like you were, you will slowly, and then you change your lifestyle after the water fast, meaning eating the fruits and vegetables, right, and connecting to nature and changing your life, not going back to the old ways, right? Making those lifestyle change, slowly but surely the weight will come right back on. So
Yeah.
within a year to a year and a half, you'll have a nice, healthy, strong, you know, cellularly renewed body from this water fast.
Yeah,
And the new cells will be healthy.
yeah, everything I've read said it will come right back. So that doesn't concern me too much. But
Yeah.
it's definitely been
It's a hard, yep.
it's a change.
No question.
Yeah,
When
also-
I did a long water fast too, I
Yeah.
remember thinking, oh my God,
Yeah.
I think I got down to like 122 pounds.
Yeah.
And I remember my mother saw me. Mistake. My mother sees me after that, and she was, oh my God, in tears. Paul, we need to take him to the psychotherapist. You know, I mean, because I was so skinny. But I put it back on.
Yeah.
You know, you put a healthier, a new body back in there, you know, that's strong and that's vibrant.
And I'm committed to being on a really clean, raw diet for
Yeah.
as long as I possibly can, the next 6 months at least, and then
Good.
still being a vegan since I've,
Awesome.
plant-based, and to continue. And I've already seen so many successes in myself at this point.
Yeah, let's talk about that now. Like I mean, we had already talked about your asthma. It seems I mean, because like the first day refeed, you were walking up and you were like, wow. I remember you saying in this moment I would grab for my inhaler, but you didn't. You just took a few deep breaths and you moved on. Talk about some of the things that you've already seen, you know, getting better.
Definitely my asthma has already improved. There have
Yes.
already, I mean, that first day, there have been other moments, even some of the cleaning products that smells that are used by the cleaning ladies would bother me. And I would have gone through an inhaler and a half in the time that I've been here.
Wow.
And I've used my inhaler
Incredible.
3 times, and the last time I used it was, I think, the first week into my fast. And so the fact that I can work through the moments of disease, even with shortness of breath,
Sure.
is a big win for me, knowing that it's not going to escalate, and that
Right.
a lot of the connection that I was having with my asthma, you know, I had worked through that in other ways too. I knew it was a mental
Sure.
connection.
There's a crutch.
Yeah.
Oh, inhaler,
Yeah.
right?
And because I went through that fast, I didn't want to put those chemicals in my body, especially while I was fasting. So even when I
Nice.
had moments of feeling short of breath, then I knew that I needed to work through them. And if I had ever gotten to a point where I felt like I needed to, I would have done it. But I definitely even had a moment the other day
Excellent.
that I just was like, no, I'm going to meditate through this, and I'm going to let my mind just
Use the
calm
breath.
down.
Right.
Yeah, and work through it. And so at this point, I feel I can say that I'm asthma free. I don't feel like I need to I don't feel like I need to carry my inhaler with me
High
into the
five.
grocery store.
Asthma
and,
free
like,
for my
everywhere I
family.
go, you know. So
Yep.
that's a big win for me, because I
Huge.
literally I can't go anywhere without a pocket that will hold my inhaler, and I've never felt that way before in my life. So
Huge.
I can do that now.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And you know, some of the other things in this last week here, the days 14 to 21, I would come in once a day and we would chat a little bit. And then the staff would chat with you. And yeah, right? I mean, we giggle. We're giggling now because there's, you know, when
hard.
you water fast, man, there's some days, right? I remember you're like going to bite my head off some days. One day she was like, Brian, I'm in a bitch today. And I'm like, it's all good. I get it. Because
It's
a
hard.
lot of things release, a lot of emotions come up. So you're not only, when you water fast, you're not only physically healing, but the mind is purging and the connection to your spirit is really strong, right? And so there'd be days where stuff was coming out. And what was great is that you were really feeling them and breathing through them and allowing to come out and just drift away. But these last few days, what I loved is that you were coming up with these new ideas for your life.
Yeah.
Right? Talk about that.
I've just been really inspired, thinking about what drives me and what I've been interested in. People that are close to me seek me out a lot for advice on healthy
Yeah,
eating
sure.
and what will make them feel better, and talking about herbs and other things, because I've been spending a lot of time the past few years learning about all these things to help heal myself as well. And I've been working in an industry that isn't necessarily making me feel passionate and fulfilled anymore at this point in time. And so I don't know exactly where my journey is going to take me, but I know it's going to involve
Like a health coach.
health coaching,
life
or
coach.
whole food lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
You'd be great at that.
yeah, using food as your medicine and learning what our beautiful earth can provide us in ways that we are a little bit disconnected from, I think, in a Western society. So
Sure.
I'm really excited to foment that project and get
Yeah.
it going a little bit more when I get back, and see where it leads me, and find some work that I'm passionate about. It's been awesome.
It
sitting
has
in bed.
been. It has been.
Yeah.
It's been great to have you here. It's been great meeting you.
Thank you.
It's been fun to go through this journey with you, right? Because the journey of a water fast, there's like a lot of ups and downs and all arounds, and things
Yeah.
are clearing and moving, and now here you are, day 3 or 4, day 4 of a refeed, and all smiles. Look at the eyes, sharp. I mean, yeah, thin, but that's going to come back in time with patience. That's all going to come back, and it's a whole cellularly renewed body.
Yeah, and
You
I
know?
just feel amazing. It's to me, it's even a surprise, like going from ending that fast to nourishing myself with some really amazing fruit on the farm. I just like that have felt enormously
Quickly, you've picked it up.
invigorated. Yeah, just a completely different all around. I'm like, oh wow, I'm such a different.
Right, because that
person.
first day I was like, Trilby, got to get you up, right?
It's no
right now
fun.
you're knowing why.
Yeah,
Now you're like,
yeah.
because what happens is your body falls asleep, right? I mean, and your digestive system falls asleep. But day 1 of a refeed, I got to get you up. You got to get moving around, and the body does not want to do it. But now here you are, day 4, and you're like, oh, okay, now you're all right.
Yeah.
You can get up and down. You can make your own meals. Everything is fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the struggles are I feel over. I'm not feeling.
But one thing that's very important for us is that our fasters give as much attention to the refeed as they do to the fast. That it's a
Very important
process.
Yeah, our refeed is like just juicy fruits, monomeal fruits, very small portions, and every couple of days we increase those portions, and then usually I do the 21-10 approach, right? Through 21 days you water fast, 10 days pretty strict monomeal juicy fruit refeed, and then after that you can start to include the greens and the salads and a little bit of avocado. But then any guest, right, you gotta watch portions. Then you gotta watch yourself. How much is too much for you? And that's an individual thing, right? So
Yeah.
Trilby, thanks. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a great life journey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Farmer Life family, if you're out there and you see this video and you want to water fast here, great, but know that we're going to do a Skype interview first. I've got to get a little bit of a history, your diet and different things and where you've been and what your intentions are, and then we'll go from there, right? So we can do 7-day water fast, and the maximum's 21-day water fast. And I really believe if you qualify for it, it's the most beautiful place and it's the most affordable because all we do is charge you our nightly room rate. That's it. Other fasting centers, I'm sure if you looked, they're pretty ridiculously expensive. For drinking water, why? Come on, man. So we just charge you the nightly room rate, and that's it. And to be in this fresh air, right, and the clean and pure water from our burst spring, there is no better place. If you qualify to do a water fast, it's a perfect spot to do it here at the Farmer Life. We'll see you guys. We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.